Hey food lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make some amazing homemade cookies. Using simple ingredients you could easily get at any cake shop, and trust me, this tasted so amazing. The full ingredients will be in the description box below. Don't go anywhere. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is to cream your butter. I did this by using a hand whisk. You can use a spatula, you can use a wooden spoon, you can use a stand mixer, anyone works fine. And you might be wondering, why is the butter looking like that? It is actually cold butter. Yes, I actually put it in the refrigerator to get a bit cold. You can actually use a room temperature butter, and you can use a cold butter. Anyone works perfectly, but I just prefer using a cold butter. So the next step is to go in with your sugar. I'm going to be using white sugar and brown sugar. So I went in with the white sugar in batches of two. Then I'll cream this until the butter and the sugar is fully combined together. Then the next step, you go in with your brown sugar. After adding the sugar, you're going to cream this until everything is fully combined and your butter has a bit doubled in size. Remember, we're not making cakes, so we just want to make the butter a bit fluffy and to get all the ingredients mixed into the butter. So you're going to cream this a bit, and you don't want to over cream your butter because you don't want it to be too oily. So you just have to cream it a bit. So guys, remember to always scrape the sides of your bowl. This is to ensure all your butter is being mixed properly and there's no parts where you have some properly mixed and some under mixed. Just make sure that as you are mixing, you are scraping the each side of the bowl or anything you are using to mix. You are scraping the sides to get all the mixture evenly mixed. So the next thing, you are going to go with your flour in batches. I'm doing batches of three. So the first thing you need to do is use your whisk without it being on. Use it to mix the flour into it so it won't spill everywhere. So after mixing that, you put on your mixer and you mix everything until everything is fully combined and you've exhausted all the flours. And please take note that the flour I'm using has been mixed with baking powder, baking soda, and salt. At this stage, you want to stop using your mixer because you don't want to over mix the butter and you don't want the oil start seeping out, because once you vacuum your butter, it's going to affect the way your cookies will come out. So the next thing I did was going with a spatula to mix the flour inside and mix every other thing. And if the spatula is becoming a bit difficult to mix in, just go with your hands. As I did, I used my hands to mix everything until everything was fully incorporated together. At this stage, all I did was just trying to bring the dough together so everything can fully form into a dough. And next thing, I divided the cookie dough into two parts because I was going to make one into chocolate. So just try and assemble everything, even when it keeps falling apart. Just try and assemble it. And remember, you do not want to knead this because we are not making bread. Just try and bring everything together until the pie dough is formed. That's the cookie dough is formed. So the next thing I did was I went in with the cocoa powder bit by bit because I did not want it to be too much. So the best thing is to go with the cocoa powder little by little until you achieve the color and the consistency you want. So you just mix in the cocoa powder into the dough to make sure everything was fully incorporated together. And next, you want to shape into a perfect ball shape, and if it can't be into a perfect ball shape, just bring everything together. So the next thing I did was wrapping it in a cling film. I did this because I wanted to keep it in a refrigerator to cool, so it will be easier to shape. So using a cling film, just wrap everything together. If you don't have a cling film, no need to panic. You can actually use a plastic or a container that has a lid or a cover. This is just to prevent any foul smell or any other stuff from getting into the cookie dough. So you put it in your refrigerator, or you can also put it in a freezer for a later time. It's just to make it easier to shape and allows the cookie to hold a shape when you are rolling it, and it's more easier when it is kind of a bit cubed or a bit frozen. So the next thing I did was bring out my cookie dough after some few minutes. So guys, using any type of cookie cutter or any type of cookie shapes, you can just play around with your cookie dough. It does not matter the regular shape, or it does not matter if it does not looks like the one from store bought or the one someone else is make. It is homemade cookies, so you can actually shape this using anything. And if you don't have a cookie cutter, you can use the cover of a bottle, or you can just shape it out with your knife or using a fork, just like bring out that fork shape on it. Don't panic if you don't have a cookie cutter. So the next thing I did was place the cookie dough on a parchment paper, which is very easy. So just cut out a piece of parchment paper, place it on the dough, then cover it back, then flatten it out using a rolling pin. So another thing to like take note is when you're using a cookie cutter, especially the iron one, like the one I'm using here, it has a blunt side and it has a sharp side. Please always make sure to use the sharp side, because that is the one that actually like cuts the dough without having any kind of messy shape or anything. So just play around with the dough. So another thing to note is to avoid rolling your cookie dough too flat or too thick. Just find the right consistency and the right size that you want to like make your cookie dough out from. So if it's becoming difficult to like pick it up from the parchment paper, just use anything to like raise it up, just like I'm doing in this video. I use a knife to like raise it up from the parchment paper. So the next thing to do is just to like shape it out, like shape everything out before transferring to your baking tray. So for my baking tray, what I did was oil it with butter, and you can actually use margarine or any other thing, and you can also like flour it. This is just to prevent it from sticking to the baking tray. So the next shape I'm going to be doing, what I'm doing is I'm combining the chocolate cookie with the ordinary cookie. So just like place it side by side and roll it out with your rolling pin, just like the first method we did. Then after that, just shape it out in any kind of like appearance and shape you want, which is what I did there. So you have to like do this till you've exhausted the whole cookie pie. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and share your comments, as your opinion matters a lot and it motivates me. And if you're also new to my channel, please do kindly subscribe, as a subscription also goes a long way for me. So for the next shape, what I did was roll each type of cookie dough into a log form or a rectangle or any, just like a long form or a log shape. So after rolling that, at first it might be like difficult to like bring it into that particular shape, just try as much as possible. It's still going to like come together. So after getting that shape I wanted, all I did was just cut it into four. After cutting into four, I assemble it in different order. That is the chocolate and the vanilla and the chocolate. Just like make it look in a kind of like zigzag manner. So after assembling it that way, just using the tip of your hands, just press it lightly together. After that, cut off the edges and cut your cookie dough, and it come out looking exactly like this. So after shaping out your cookie dough, transfer them into your baking tray and bake this. And please keep an eye on it, especially if you are baking lesser quantity. So after baking, transfer into a cooling rack or a tray to make it cool faster. And trust me guys, this came out tasting so yummy and so delicious. For the four corner cookie, I put a chocolate chips in the middle just to give it that look. So at this point, your cookies are ready to like get munched on, and it tasted so nice and so delicious. If you are still watching up to this point, don't forget to subscribe, like and share if you haven't. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and would you be trying out this recipe? Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.